Okay, hello guys. Welcome to the Afternoons with Pastor Paul show. I'm your host, Dog Announcer. Today is the 1st of September, and I hope that you guys are ready for the show today. We have some, just the one wonderful guest today, and actually, I think you guys might be surprised by who it is. It's going to be maybe a bit of a curveball, but I think that you're gonna love it because I love the idea of it. But we'll have to see. All right, and without further ado, it is your host, Pastor Paul. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. All right, what's up, guys? Hey, how's it going? Well, here we are. We're back for the second week of Afternoons with Pastor Paul, and just want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. Last week we had a little bit of a scare. I thought we got canceled. I got a call from my agent, and he said, "Yeah, I think we got canceled." And I was like, "What? Really?" And so then I realized actually it was a different show. It wasn't our show. So don't worry, we're doing okay. And rumor has it we're gonna have more viewers today than we did last week. I think we're gonna have double. If we have double, and then the next week it's another double, and then another double. Pretty soon we'll have 1 million viewers every show. That's what we're going for. And so I just want to welcome some of the guests here. My producer, he just handed me the names of some people we have in the audience today. So I just want to do something a little new and welcome you guys. And so here we have Ethan Chung. Let's all give it a round of applause for Ethan Chung. There we go. And next we have Kristen. Oh, wow, you guys are clapping a lot there. Okay, let's maybe we'll do this one. Let's kind of tone down the applause a little bit. My producer's out there telling them how much applause to do. Kristen Manakmo, Noah Kim, Yule. Who else do we have here? We have an Ein. We have an Ashley. Welcome, Ashley. I think Ashley's brand new. And who else do we have here? Did I miss somebody? I think I got everybody there. Producer, do we got? No, there's one more, they said. And then we have a Matthew. Or did I say Matthew already? I think I said a Matthew already. Producer. Don't confuse me, man. My producer, guys. He's a little crazy. But anyway, Dog Announcer said he wasn't sure how the show's going to go today. I think it's going to be the best yet. Every show is going to be the best yet, and the last show is the best yet because they're all the best yet. You know what I mean? That doesn't really make sense, but anyway. So I was walking down the street today, and I saw a woman carrying a bag of groceries, and I asked her, "What do you have there in that bag of groceries?" And she said, "I have some apples and some oranges." And then I asked her, "So which is it, apples or oranges?" Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I made that one this morning on my way into the office. Anyway, I heard on the grapevine that things are getting better with those California wildfires, and so praise God for that. That's it's still a sad situation, but it's good that it's getting better, and that's what it's all about, for things to be getting better. Oh, our producers just told us here we have another visitor. His name's Ben. Let's give it up for Ben, guys. Yeah, welcome. I think it's Ben's first time as well. And so, yeah, guys, we have a guest here, but I'm going to tell you about the guest when I go and sit down at my desk over here. So why don't you guys follow me over here? Here we go. All right, I'm back at the desk, guys. And wouldn't you know it, it's still nighttime out here. But I shoot this show at night. It's nighttime where I live. I don't know about you guys. I think you guys, most of my viewers, you guys are over there in California. I'm in California too. Or let's just say there's a reason why it's nighttime where I am. Anyway, just want to thank you guys all for coming here today, and I hope you guys are in for a well, you guys are in for a wonderful show. Our second guest for the Afternoons with Pastor Paul is a guest again. I think you guys are going to be a little surprised. It's a little bit of a curveball. It is a male, and his name is Mr. Gabriel Yip. And so let's give a round of applause for that. I think a lot of you, oh yeah, a lot of you guys are excited. Me too. Me too. Yep. Gabriel Yip, he you guys might know him from NCBC, New Community Baptist Church, and you've probably seen some of his work. He was the praise leader for Overflow for a little while, and he's currently a local. We thought he might possibly move away, but he's currently a local. I think that's a great thing because he is not too far away. And so let's go ahead and welcome on Mr. Gabriel Yip to the show, everybody. Okay, all right, let's see here. Gabriel.
Wait, okay, I'm just gonna unmute myself.
Yep, there you go.
All right. Wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much, Pastor Paul.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate that, Gabriel.
Yeah. Gotta say, quick shout out to your production manager. Effects are actually quite nice, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, did they treat you well in the green room?
I asked for ginger ale and they told me to show an ID, and I didn't appreciate that.
Oh, Gabriel,
So,
sorry about that, Gabriel. Producers,
okay.
guys.
There's always room to grow.
I'm sorry about that. This is our second week at the show, and so we're kind of new to Hollywood. I know you've kind of been around the town for a bit, but we're a bit new, so just give us that a little grace period. Does that make sense? We're gonna get better.
I guess I can give you the benefit of the doubt for now, but
thanks, Gabriel. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in. How was the drive in?
The drive? Well, I mean, I've got to say it wasn't like the most comfortable like chauffeur experience.
Okay.
My driver, I think his name was Daniel. Yeah, he just put on too much deodorant. What was that, Axe body spray?
I think it's Axe body spray.
Yeah, it was a little cheap, to be honest. I'm a little disappointed. I thought you had higher standards than that, but a ride's a ride, so can't complain.
Yeah, I've asked him a couple times about that. He said he just really loves that. He said it's like he's been wearing it since junior high, and it's hard to change.
Yeah.
So
we're creatures of habit.
Yeah,
if anything.
Definitely. But he's a good guy. He's a real fun guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
You probably I mean, if you hang out with him, I think you'll have some fun with him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll consider it. Hopefully on the ride back, we can stop by and get some tacos or something.
Yeah, definitely. I think he likes tacos a lot. But anyway, so Gabriel, you, as I shared, you're living in the area, right? And you don't have to disclose where you live, but you do live in the area. Is that correct?
I do live in the area. Yes, that is correct.
And tell us a little bit about like your experience living in this area. What do you like about this area? What are the challenges? Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, and putting aside like all the half jokes, Pastor Paul. I was thinking about this earlier, and I think about your question. I think of it like on a bigger context. So I live in the Bay Area, as you know, and it's different than say the Midwest, but it's also different than say like living in poverty in like a third world country, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was thinking about how to relate to your audience, right? And like one of the things that I was thinking about was the challenges of living in the Bay Area. And for me, at least, I was pondering the question. I realized that um like we like you and I assume you and I like live in relative luxury, right? And one of those things that luxury has afforded us is um introspection. And I guess what I'm saying is that like when if you're living in a third world country, you don't have to your mind is constantly on like basic needs and trying to meet those needs.
Yeah.
But because I guess we you and I in the Bay Area like live in a setting where we don't have to think about those things, we have more, I guess, time to spend on like thinking about like other things, thinking about ourselves, like um like we instead of living to survive, we instead look to living for a purpose, if you will.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
mean that goes with everyone, but I think more so with us because our energy isn't spent more so on covering basic needs. And so I guess living one thing that characterizes living in the Bay Area is honestly like at least for me, it's just the emphasis on mental health.
Okay. Okay.
Um which is I guess you could say it's something that I didn't think or I wouldn't think is like something as um uh emphasized like if I was living somewhere else. But yeah, that's one part of what it's like living in the Bay Area, if
Yeah.
that's what your question was poised towards.
Wow, that was probably the most thorough answer I think I'm ever gonna get about that question. So thank you so much for that insight for just like how you feel about living in this area. I think that's totally well maybe not everybody may relate to what you said. I think they could understand where you're coming from and like that perspective.
Sure.
And yeah, definitely people living. Some of our viewers they're watching from different states, and I think the Bay Area is definitely a different type of place, and so yeah. So Gabriel, you used to be the praise leader of Overflow. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
that is correct.
and that
That's
was like
correct.
right up until not too long ago.
Well, if by not
Maybe
too long ago you mean like a couple years ago, then yeah, not too long
well,
ago.
like a year and maybe a few months, right? Because it was
Uh,
maybe you stopped maybe around in
actually, yeah.
June of last year.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it. I guess yeah, you could say it's been a year.
Yeah, just a little over a year. And so,
Yeah.
well, some of our viewers, I would say actually all of our viewers today, they happen to be from Mosaic, and so they know what Overflow is, or at least they know there is a worship team.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess maybe a couple different things? So, and you can kind of choose if you want to skip something, you just skip it. But
I
if
love
you want to
choosing.
tell us a little bit of the history of Overflow, just a little bit, a brief
A little
history,
bit.
anything that you
Oh,
feel is like interesting. And how did you end up being the praise leader of Overflow?
you got me in a kind of a got me in a corner here. None of these answers are gonna be brief. um, but I think you knew that. I did. Um. Uh. Wow. Okay. I guess we'll start with the first question. Um. Yeah. I don't know how far back you want me to go. Um. But I can say that like when I first came into youth group, there was a praise team. They weren't called Overflow. In fact, they weren't even youth group didn't even have a name. We were just called YM, right? And so, um, back then you were not our youth pastor. It was Pastor Jay and Jamie.
Hmm.
Um, uh, wow. I guess to one thing I will say is that before even Pastor Jay and Jamie, our youth group was going through a bunch of youth pastors like in and out essentially, and so there was a lack of consistency in leadership. I can tell you that there was like at least four different youth pastors within maybe like a 2 year span. I don't know if I'm right about that, but I do know it was like short amount of time, a lot of different youth pastors before it was we settled on Pastor Jay and Jamie. But the thing that was relatively consistent was the worship team. um and I think that's part of like a huge part of like what the worship team is um it provides a familiarity in like the worship setting, right? And so I don't know, just start off with that. And so
Yeah.
we had a worship team for a while. People graduated, leaders graduated, so we had like transition of worship leaders. And at one point, um, and at this point, I was drummer. Yeah, I was doing the drums. I was also like part time like media with Harry and Esther. Shout out to Harry and Esther, the real ones.
Actually, I just heard from the
You know, so
producer. Esther happens to
yeah.
be here in the studio audience today.
Really?
So
Really?
yeah.
I could tell actually. I was reading through your comments. Esther Esther had quite a reaction. She she seemed almost like disappointed. No, but I get that a lot. But back to the question. Like yeah, there was a year where um I would say like 80% of the worship team was seniors. And so when they graduated, we were left with like, so it was actually me, uh, John Cho. I don't know if you guys know him. He's one of my best friends, probably my best friend.
Oh, is that the John Cho from? Oh, I think is he from Milpitas?
Yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah, yeah,
Milpitas.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
John Cho from Milpitas.
Wow,
Um,
small world.
right? It really is. But yeah, me, John Cho from Milpitas, Jasper Lee. He was on and off, probably a little bit less on and off than John Cho, who, quite honestly, before that only showed up, only led worship like twice on the bass guitar. So it was the three of us. Brian Kang, he was on the keyboard. Um, Actually, I believe this was your guest last show, Sophie Cho, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sophie came on last show. She was the very first guest for the show.
Wow, truly small world,
It
truly a
is.
small
It
world.
is.
But so it was the five of us. None of us could like adequately play guitar, but I think more than that, none of us were ready for that worship leader position, whether for like one reason or another. And so for a while, the adult English ministry praise team would like lead worship for us, EM for short. Um, but they led for us for a while. They actually did not have a consistent drummer, so they asked me if I wanted to lead with them, and I was like, heck yeah. Um,
Wow. Just like that, huh?
yeah, I was like, heck yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Uh, I think more so than the drummer though, it was about relatability because I was the only youth member on stage, and it almost made that much of a difference between like a babysitting service and a youth service, if that makes sense, right? Because I wouldn't say like, oh, everything depended on me, but if I put myself in the congregation's shoes, um, like not having any youth members, I guess, on stage would make it feel as though like, oh, this is just like a service just to keep us occupied, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, it, and again, I might be wrong. Maybe that's just my thinking, but that's where it's coming from. I guess it brings us to like your question of how did I become worship leader. It's a crazy story. One day I was leading worship on drums, and I looked out in the congregation, and like, um, I felt like I don't know what song we were singing, but I could like it's like time slowed, and I can feel, but it was almost like God was trying to tell me like, Gabriel, like look out to everyone, and I did, and I saw like um nothing was different, but it was almost as though I was observing the the desolation on their faces more so than I was before, or at least I was empathizing with it more so than I was before.
And can you help define that for some of our younger viewers? What do you
Yeah.
mean by desolation? And
Um,
what were you seeing?
I guess another word to say is like depressed. Um, but uh, not quite depressed. It's like a mix between depressed and lost, almost. Uh, yeah, directionless, if you will. Like there were, it looked like everyone there was just directionless. Um, and uh, and in that moment where I like sort of observed their sense of directionlessness, um, God was telling me like they need like they needed like a worship team to relate to almost.
Hmm. Okay.
And because if they could see that their peers could find direction and purpose in God, then they could also find that in God as well,
Wow.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Um, yeah, I that was just like a split second wave of like clarity. And I was like, heck no, God, like there's no way that I'm going to lead worship. I will most definitely like help out in like um trying to bring people to lead worship, like maybe organize a team or some sort, but I will not. God, you're crazy.
Wow. No,
Because
that's
I
interesting because before it was like heck yeah to joining to play
yeah.
drums and to being a praise leader. It's the opposite. Heck no.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I loved playing drums in a worship context. Um, but I couldn't sing. Like I could not sing, and I refused to believe that I could sing.
Hmm.
Is almost the more apt description. And so, um, it was like that for a while. Uh, I think some of your viewers will remember Annabelle. Annabelle
Oh
Reed.
yeah. Yeah.
She was the teacher Daniel before teacher Daniel.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So she was the previous chauffeur.
Yeah, yeah, actually. We spent a lot of time together, so we knew each other very well. She couldn't drive back then,
Hmm.
so my dad would give her rides because I would go to church, and we both lived in the area. We lived relatively close to each other, so when my dad would give me rides to church, we would pick up Annabelle and we would spend that time conversing. So we were pretty close. But she, I think, also um, at least in the slightest, felt the need for like a worship team that was youth based. And so I didn't know she could play guitar, but I guess she did because one way or another, like F and F, she just cobbled together a group of us and we led worship basically. And, it was like little things like that. Like, okay, more people are interested in like, say, joining worship, or like the people who are interested. Okay, these people exactly they don't exactly know what they're doing. Okay, we start like a seminar, so to speak, or like a class, a weekly class session for where we could like learn to lead worship and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting to get there. When's a good place to debut? Oh, we have a winter retreat coming up. All right, great. That sounds like a great place to debut. Boom, we debut. And so by then it was John Cho from Milpitas. He learned guitar and he decided, you know what, I can sing, and he could sing. So he was leader. I was drummer. John Cho's brother, Timothy Cho, actually, is he one of your students?
Yeah. He
Timothy
happens to
Cho.
be one of my students, Timothy Cho.
Wow,
Yep.
small world.
It is a
Okay,
small world.
yeah. So
Yep.
Timothy Cho was on bass. Um, Sophie Cho, again, previous guest of yours, was vocals. Ted Jung, oh sorry, Ted Jung was on keyboard. Lindsay Lindsay Park was also on keyboard. We try to like split the keyboard duties between them. Um, I think I think that was it. Yeah, that was that was worship team for Winter Retreat.
Wow.
Um, but actually, right before Winter Retreat, God, like, I had another moment with God, and God was like, Gabriel, you're not listening to me, man. You gotta lead worship. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense because John's already leading worship. And so that conversation was put on hold for a while. And then at one point, I found myself listening to "How He Loves" by John Mark McMillan.
Okay. Not
Yeah,
not the David Crowder version, or
no, you know what? We were actually leading "How He Loves." Um,
yeah.
I
Okay.
was actually leading "How He Loves" with the EM Praise team,
Okay.
and I was leading in my drum cage, and then we were leading that song, and then I had like a moment of realization where or God imprinted this on my heart where it was like, hey Gabriel, this youth group needs to realize like my love for them, and once they realize that, that will in turn bring them to a place where they can worship me more freely and more passionately. And so that was like that was like the vision of worship that God gave me, and I was like,
Wow.
I can't quite implement or kind of bring that vision about as a drummer, but it can be fully realized if I'm a worship leader. And so I went up to my friend John. I was like, hey, um, something happened. Long story short, we conversed, we talked about it, and because I was a lot less experienced on guitar and singing than he, I would lead the morning sessions and he would lead the night sessions. So that's how we split responsibilities for worship team during Winter Retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Obed and Yetan were also drummer. That's right. I'm terribly sorry. Obed and Yetan, if you're listening, I apologize. um, but yeah, that's how we split duties. Time went on. We started leading for Sundays regularly, which started to work out. And then I was still not worship leader, which I was okay with. I was like, yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to sing in front of people. And then out of nowhere, uh, you actually sat us all down with John, and um, I make it sound like it's your fault. It's not. But we had a conversation, and basically John was like, I can't lead worship anymore because I have other conflicting responsibilities. And just like that, I was worship leader. So that's the story.
Okay. So basically, you stepped into a void.
Yeah,
Is that correct? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
essentially. Avoid. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I
Wow.
yeah.
That was a great retelling of the history of
You think
things.
so? You think so?
I do think
Great,
so.
great retelling.
Yeah.
Usually I'm not too good at like recounting stories. I
It
either go
was
too long or too descriptive. I
it
think
was
it was both.
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll have to I think our viewers will want that clipped out, from the show, and they're gonna want to
Make
highlight
it
that
a
one.
it's a YouTube highlight
Yeah,
for afternoons with Pastor Paul.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We haven't started that yet, but I feel like this will be the first one that the viewers will want to see.
Okay, well, I'm counting on your production team to clip it. So,
Oh, they will. I think I'm gonna ask. Yeah, let me see. Are you guys gonna do this thing,
wow,
producers? Okay.
producers.
Yeah, they said yeah they're
This
gonna do it.
ministry is counting on you.
Yes.
Fill the void, producers.
They
Fill the
will.
void.
They're going to do a great job, as they have been for these past few weeks,
Yeah.
past months, really getting this whole thing ready. But
Wow. Okay.
so Gabriel, we have we have a little game that we have prepared for today. How do you feel about games? Are you into games?
Oh, I hate
You
games.
hate games. Okay.
They're the worst thing that mankind has ever invented.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
are. Oh my gosh, I was about to say like devil worship.
Mm,
I think that's a little strong.
that's
No,
pretty far.
all jokes aside, I do enjoy a game or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have it on good authority that yeah, you enjoy yourself a game or two.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah. And so
Oh,
last week we played with Sophie Cho, who you mentioned earlier. We played the game Blurted Out. And
okay.
so this week we're gonna play a different game, and the game is called Word Sneak. Okay. And so
Word sneak.
what we're
Okay.
gonna have to do to play this game, Gabriel, is we're gonna be talking for another like 8 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna put an 8 minute
Okay.
timer on, and then we're gonna be talking, and then we each have are gonna give each other 15 words that we have to try to sneak into our very casual, normal conversation.
Right,
Um,
because our conversations are always normal.
yeah, exactly. So it's just
Okay.
we just got to keep it normal, and
Yeah,
then we
yeah, yeah.
still got to sneak the words in, and then whoever I don't know. By the end, whoever we think did the best job will say like you did the best job. You know.
Well,
Just,
yeah. Okay, okay.
okay. Are you
I
you
like it.
feel do you feel ready?
The words, they are, you sent them to me, yes? Or
Yeah. I think my producers sent you the list there, but I think we're gonna go ahead and share that with the audience right now. So audience, you guys will know what words we're gonna be saying. Um,
and just for clarification, there are two sets of words. The ones that you sent are for me, yes?
Exactly. So those are the words that you're gonna have to try to work into conversation, and then the words that my producer said that you came up with, those are gonna be the ones that I have to work into conversation.
Okay,
Okay.
got you.
And so I'm hearing from the producers they're pasting in the word list right now,
Okay.
and so there we go. Chat. So viewers, there's the list that Gabriel has to go ahead and use, and then the list that I'm gonna have to use is, let's see, they're pasting it in right now, they said. All right,
Okay.
there it is. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
So our lists are there for the viewers to see. And to intro the game, Gabriel, I had Sophie help me intro the game. And so this is how we're going to intro this game. We're going to say, we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Word sneak. Okay. But kind of put some energy into it. All right. Got it?
1, 2, 3. Word sneak.
Yeah. But
Okay.
just the 1, 2, 3 though.
Okay. Got you.
Okay, ready? Ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Word
Word
sneak.
sneak.
Yeah.
All right.
I think audience, how you guys feel about this game? Are you guys pumped up or what?
They better be.
They are. There we go. There's that energy that we're looking for.
Goodness. Okay.
All right. I think.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Speed. I am speed.
Okay. Are you ready, Gabriel?
Fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready. The timer starts right now. Okay. So, yeah. Gabriel.
Wow, you're great.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Oh, actually, producers, we had to switch scenes there. Sorry about that,
No
audience.
worries.
But yeah. Have you ever that's a terrible start.
Go ahead.
So
We'll just have to climb the ladder of conversation together, you know?
yeah, definitely. So
Make this one for the paper books.
well, anyway, I just wanted to show the viewers this shirt I'm wearing.
Okay.
It's a bit of a tight shirt, on me,
Nice.
probably because
You really into tight shirts?
I'm not so into tight shirts, but I'm kind of in between sizes. I'm in between a medium and a large. So when I wear the large, it's like too big. If I wear the medium, it's a little tight. So I'll go with the
Alright.
tight.
I don't know, man, because your pits are looking a little moist there.
Oh, I didn't.
Almost like Garfield went through a water sprinkler.
I,
And just for context, like, it's not that Garfield normally goes through water sprinklers, but it's just um it's just a teaching moment, you know? Just do the math.
Yeah, I didn't
Anyways,
know you could see my pits. I just had some kimchi fried rice earlier, and I was
nice.
kind of sweating a little bit. You know, I was doing a little aerobics, wearing
Oh,
my jeggings. You know.
oh my gosh. You know what? I jeggings are quite underrated. You know, I feel like you should do a little introduction on what jeggings are for viewers who don't know what
Yeah.
jeggings are.
So jeggings, they're basically they are like yoga pants. Not that I'm endorsing yoga, by the way, guys, but I was just exercising in them because they're really tight and they're like they look like jeans, but they're
Okay.
yoga pants, and so it really helps you to to get into the spiritual mood of the atmosphere.
Wow.
You know,
Such a wonderful
it just
description.
really helps with
Almost
that.
like poetry.
Yeah,
Spiritual mood of the
absolutely,
atmosphere.
absolutely.
My goodness. Like the galaxy could get any better. We just have that phrase, spiritual mood of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Just oh, that phrase is just so good. I could just die. Just like send me to the hospital, you know? Like it's so beautiful. Um actually, you know, I've always wondered this about you, but what's your favorite food, by the way?
Oh,
Since we're talking
so
about kimchi fried rice.
yeah, other than kimchi fried rice, I think yeah, one of my favorite foods would be well, it's not okay, like here's the thing. I'm really I really am into having my breath be really minty.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I have in my car I have always a tin of Altoids with me wherever I go.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
How about you?
Uh, I can find myself in a similar predicament. I always love me some blue cheese pizza,
Oh.
which can do a number on the old breath. So,
Yeah,
um,
actually, I
this
used that funny you mentioned. I used to eat a lot of pizza with blue cheese, and you know now my doctor is telling me I have to get a colonoscopy. So
okay,
yeah,
that's painting a little bit too
well, you know,
weird of a
hey,
picture,
it's something
right?
for you to look forward to in the future. You know,
Colonoscopy. But yeah, I guess in conclusion, blue cheese pizza is definitely up there, top five. But I would have to say that favorite food is probably sushi.
probably sushi. Wow. Okay.
Probably,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think you know, my friend like that reminds me because I used to be on the yearbook club, you know, and
Did you?
yeah, one of the things that we used to do is every Saturday
Yeah.
we would go eat sushi together, and
Wow.
yeah, it was one of our favorite things to do. And right here in Santa Clara, we went to a restaurant. We met a celebrity there.
No way,
Guess.
Lord Megatron. you met you met Lord Megatron?
No, it was someone similar though. Someone really like
Really?
big and
Optimus
bulky.
Prime?
It was The Rock.
No.
It was The Rock.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was.
we met The Rock there at the sushi restaurant.
I mean, I was hoping you would have met like the paper or something, but I guess the Rock is cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, any last words for you? Like anything to say
Yeah.
with last words?
Um, I will say though that there is a very good sushi restaurant down the street from where I live called uh gosh, what was the name? Um that's right, Lord Megatron's Colonoscopy. That was a sushi restaurant. And
Wow.
I highly recommend it. It's great. They serve blue cheese pizza, kimchi fried rice, jeggings on yearbooks. You name it, they have it all. The only I think the only requirement is that they have a dress code though. Um can you guess what it is?
I have no clue. What maybe like cheese?
Tight shirts. They require
No,
to
really?
wear
Tight
tight
shirts with
shirts.
jeggings maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
So I would fit right
they
in.
yeah, they actually give you it's kind of weird because they give you a robe to change into.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and then they ask you to leave your jeggings for them to prepare the meal, which was I was doubtful at first, but jeggings sushi
Okay.
is actually quite the treat.
Okay.
Like, you'd be surprised.
Wow. Okay.
Garfield, eat your heart out. Like, wow.
Um All
I
right, that's
mean,
time. That's time.
yeah.
Producer said that's time. So good job. I'm hearing from the producers. They're compiling the audience scores, and wow, Gabriel, looks like you take this one. So
You know
good
it.
good job. Good
Lord
job.
Megatron would be proud. Lord Megatron
Wow,
would be so proud.
that was a display, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
I know.
thanks for playing that game. How'd you like the word sneak game? Was that fun for you, Gabriel?
Well, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 word sneaks to 10 word sneaks, I would give it okay, so from 1 word sneak to 10 word sneaks, carry the five. I would probably give it 4 teacher Daniels.
Oh wow,
Yeah, out of 10 word sneaks.
that's a lot. That's more than I thought. I thought it would
Yeah.
only be like two teacher Daniels. Okay,
Well,
four, pretty
I
good.
all right, to be honest, I just wanted to be gracious with my ratings. I just want to support the show.
Well, thank you.
I feel
Thanks,
like a good old fashioned 4 teacher Daniels would do
thank you
do
for
better.
that, Gabriel. I
Yep.
heard a lot about you being a really gracious person. So, I
Did
really,
you?
yeah, I have. So
Oh,
thank.
you have such great sources.
Well, my
I don't know
producers,
how you.
they do their research. Um,
Wow. Okay.
so Gabriel, our final segment with you today is a audience Q and A, and so
Okay.
audience viewers, you guys are able to now ask some questions to Gabriel before he takes off today. I heard he has to get on a jet plane and get out of this place. He's heading over. Where were you going again?
I'm actually heading to the Bermuda Triangle
Oh, okay, okay.
for some missions work. But
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was missions work in the Bermuda Triangle.
yeah, well, now you do.
Wow.
Now you know.
Maybe because a lot of people get lost there. And
Lord Megatron does have good security over there.
hmm,
Yes. So
okay. Wow,
it
great.
that it's a nickname for the local warlord.
Oh, okay.
Is Lord
So you're
Megatron.
not able to disclose the name. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
See what I
viewers,
mean?
any questions for Gabriel that you? I know like a lot of questions have been burning for you guys, and a lot of different things you just wish you could ask him. So now today is your day. You know, we're just opening this up to you guys, and who knows if you'll have this opportunity.
And know that I will wholeheartedly take your questions seriously.
Wow,
All jokes.
that's a
Yeah.
great encouragement. Thank you, Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just in case it wasn't clear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. So the producers, they've they're handing me the first question here.
You sure give a lot of credit to your producers.
Well, you know, I always tell them guys like, hey,
What about
producers.
the what about the camera guy? Huh?
Well, it just
You
so
gonna
happens
give him a
that the
shout out?
producers do everything. They do the camera. They
Oh
do.
wow.
Yeah, that's why I always talk about the producers. They're just so
No
good.
cap?
What was that?
No cap?
No cap? Yeah, no
No
cap.
cap?
No cap.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, the producers they just handed me the first question. It's from a Kristen Manakmol. And
Kristen Manakmal.
yeah,
Okay. Sure.
she's asking, what is God teaching you right now in this stage of life?
What is God teaching now in this stage of life? Oh, what a question. Guess you could say as of recently, um, people need hmm uh people need your okay, actually that's not a very good way of putting it. I would say that God depends on you a lot less than you think. Um, I was recently trying to reach out to a friend of mine and kind of share the gospel and maybe share my testimony with him. And in the process of praying for him, it was this dialogue of, okay, I can't do anything to really change his mind. In fact, like there are a lot of parts in Ephesians that talks about how um like it's nothing salvation is not something that we guarantee for ourselves, but it's everything that God does
Yeah.
for us. God's the one that opens up our hearts. And that was part of the I guess the thought process I was like as I was trying to share the gospel with this person is just like, okay, I'm a lot more useless than I thought.
Mhm.
And it came again a second time when I was trying to talk to another friend who was, I guess, struggling during this time of quarantine and stuff. And yeah, the same theme of just like, okay, I can do my best to talk and to reassure and to be a friend to this person, but ultimately this person needs God. And yeah, I just didn't resign, but I surrendered myself to that kind of reality. And the following week, that person who was previously like pretty antisocial, I would say, like started coming out to a bunch of uh not yeah, just a bunch of like Zoom meetings with like friends and stuff, and was just spending more time with their friends, our mutual friends actually. So that was a huge blessing to see that like nothing that I didn't really do anything, it was all God. So
Hmm.
that's one
Wow.
thing I was learning.
That's an amazing testimony. Thanks for sharing that. I think one of the things you said there. You said you realized basically that you were useless. Can you elaborate just a little bit on that? Because
Yeah,
I know what you don't mean is that God has no use for you.
yeah,
Um, and so there's a difference between like what you were describing and that. So can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
yeah. I mean, obviously we're not useless in the same way that, and this is like a very common like biblical analogy, but in the same way that like jars are not useless,
Hmm.
right? Like they have a use to like carry water and wine and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's really all they do. Like they don't breathe life into the party. That's what the alcohol is for. Sorry, it's probably not
That was a that was a strange
too much. Too
illustration.
much.
Let's just say
Okay,
soda.
sure. Yeah, the jars, the vessel, the jar's job is not to pleasure the taste buds of the guests. The jar's job is to carry the soda, which in turn does the pleasuring of taste buds for the guests. So I think oftentimes I overreach and I think, you know what, I'm the soda, but no,
Hmm.
I'm actually the can, which sounds not glorious, but if God's doing the pouring, then I think that's something
Hmm.
that we should all learn to live with.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for giving a illustration like that. That reminds me of our, as Mosaic, we have our our jars of clay, treasure in jars of clay verse.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that's actually our theme verse. And so
Okay.
God gives this gospel, this good news to people who are like these fragile jars of clay. But the gospel is the value. The gospel is the thing that is power. And so yeah, that's a great illustration there, Gabriel. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All
Of
right,
course.
one more question that producers have handed me here.
Okay.
They're saying, do you have an encouragement for us youth kids during the quarantine?
Encouragement. Yeah. Read your Bible.
Wow.
Should I say why or
Sure.
okay? Because it's good for you.
Great.
Should I say why it's good for you?
Sure.
Okay. Um mm, well, I don't know who this person is or where they're coming from, but I get the sense that by during when they say during this time of quarantine, it's kind of referring, it might be referring to the fact that like a lot of people might feel like lost, bored out of their minds. Everyone's in their houses and stuff. I guess with all that time, now more than ever, we shouldn't neglect to read our Bibles, because I would say that even before quarantine, it's something that uh, my fellow youth student peers would struggle with, is like, why should I read the Bible? Or like, I don't want to read the Bible, or like, I don't want to do Bible study, but like, um, Actually, I didn't know this until recently, but one of the four spiritual foundations is reading the Bible. But what is not is worship. Like, and what I mean is, um, worship is sort of a overflow of the things that God has been doing in our lives. But in order to get to know God better, to be able to understand our place as Christians, that all comes from like the Bible and from prayer and
Mm.
from uh, evangelizing too. And I think oftentimes people put a lot of focus on worship, as they should, um, but they shouldn't neglect reading the Bible, or they shouldn't neglect prayer in the process of pursuing worship.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I think a lot of times people get it in their heads that um I want to, or like rather they have it in their heart that I want to hear from God, and I really want this personal message from God. And what I think, not that they mean to, in most cases, I think what that shows, it's a heart that says, I don't really value or know this Bible very much. Like I don't really realize that actually God has poured out so much to me already, and it may not be specifically like directly. It was written directly to let's say Paul in this case, like the letter from Paul to Paul. Like Apostle
Yeah.
Paul written to Paul
Yeah.
Dubé in 2020.
Yeah.
But it is for me in that it was meant for the church. It was meant for God's people. So I think people, they really devalue that, even subconsciously. And so
Yeah.
you bring up a really good point. Thank you,
Yeah,
Gabriel.
of course. Yeah, yeah.
Last question here. Okay, so what's your
Oh,
least
come on.
favorite food?
My least favorite food, eggs.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't I don't like eggs.
When did you know you didn't like eggs?
My mom could probably tell this story better than me, but basically at one point in my childhood, there was like some hard-boiled eggs, and like I hated that smell so much as a kid. It's just kind of carried over. And like I sometimes I'll try to eat eggs, and like I'll like barely get over it, but yeah, man, the sulfuric scent kind of is such a turnoff for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little unfortunate because I feel like eggs are such a versatile and it's pretty delicious food overall. There's so
Yeah.
many different
Yeah.
things you could
Yeah.
eat. But that's okay. I do know other people that are either they don't like eggs or they're allergic. There's actually a few youth in Mosaic. They cannot eat eggs. So
Right on.
you're you're in good
I feel for
company.
you.
Yeah.
I feel for them. Yeah.
All right, Gabriel. Do you have any last words for the viewers before we let you get on your jet?
Well, looks like my chauffeur is about to come.
Yep.
So, actually, um, I have time for maybe one more question, if that's all right with you,
Uh,
Mr.
I think
Show host.
the
Mr.
producers are
Elliot.
saying that yeah, there are no more questions left.
All right.
But I think they're saying that they're going to be sending you some fan mail though.
Fan
So
mail.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I actually don't do fan mail. I only do fan emails. So,
Okay,
uh,
then I think yeah,
or
producers.
fan DMs on occasion.
Okay, then our producers will let the viewers know about that.
Okay. Then I guess my last words are add me on Valorant at Captain Unipool number NA1. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Well, only half kidding. But anyways, I would say yeah, just read your Bible, guys. There's a lot more joy to be had in it than you think.
Great.
Yeah.
Praise God. Amen. Thank you, Gabriel, so much for sharing this time with us, being the second guest ever on Afternoons with Pastor Paul, for being such a gracious and funny and wonderful guest. We
You know
really,
what
really
they
appreciate
say?
it.
First is the worst, second is the best.
Wow. Hmm. Okay, Gabriel, why don't you give a wave to the audience as you head off?
Should I do the YouTuber outro with the hand?
Yep.
All right, bye guys. Should I mute myself?
Yes, you should.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
All right, guys. Wow, what a guest that we had today, Mr. Gabriel Yip. You know, just really appreciate him coming on the show. Actually, I asked him a little bit last minute because the other guest that our producers that we're trying to get, that guest wasn't quite ready to come on their show, and so hopefully they come another week. But Gabriel was ready and willing and just hopped right on the show. And so we're gonna do our giveaway, guys, before we end the show today. It is our DoorDash giveaway. Okay. So for our DoorDash giveaway, oops, I'm gonna go ahead and last week what we did, producers, we just kind of did it there in the chat. We're gonna do it again, but this time there's gonna be a couple students who are ineligible this week. Okay, so Kristen will be ineligible. I'm hearing from the producers, Kristen Manakmal, Justin Song, ineligible this week, but I believe everyone else is eligible as far as I know. Producers, let me know if I've forgotten anybody. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and see how this goes. Okay, so let's get a drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? I think we do. Producers, can we get that drum roll? Let's see, gotta get ready here. Here we go, and it is. Oh, I think producers, we keep doing the wrong thing. So let's try that again. And we have. Okay, producers are saying it is Justin's song, so we have to do it again. One more time. Here we go. Let's do it again. Let's run it back, producers. It is. Producers, who we got? I'm hearing an Angela Lee, but our producers were wondering if this is the teacher Angela Lee or the student. Can we confirm? Is there student Angela Lee in the audience today? Okay, then we're gonna just say it's student Angela Lee. So everybody, let's give a round of applause to Miss Angela Lee, being technically our third giveaway winner now. And so what we're gonna do, if you've won a giveaway before, you'll be ineligible for like a few weeks, and then you'll be eligible again a few weeks later. That way we're always cycling through new people and kind of even shrinking the pool of people who can win. Okay, and so guys, that is the show for today. I hope you guys had a good time. This is our second show, and I think we were hitting pretty good numbers. The producers were telling me that it is we kind of hit that double mark, and so next week let's hope that we can double today's number. Okay, and so if you invite your friends, tell people about it, yeah, spread the word, get it out there. All right, dog announcer, any words from you before we go? Yes, I hope you guys really enjoyed the show today. We really try hard here at the production studio. As you can see, I'm working hard here. I always stand here to do the sound. But, you know, I hope you guys really had a great time today. And thank you so much for joining. You guys are a wonderful audience, the best audience. And so we hope to see you guys next week at the same time, 4:30 every Tuesday, afternoons with Pastor Paul. God bless you. Peace.